Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Arjun and Spike, streaming live coast to coast and across the globe. Talking stocks after the close. So after the close, it's easier than before the close. It's easier than before the open, I should say.
I mean, both. It's easier than it's the
Yeah,
easiest.
Right.
We like it
I
easy.
predict today will be
it's good to know the answers and work backwards.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I kind of like Apple.
yeah. I think the S&P will be green
Uh,
today.
and I
Yeah, I
happen to
think
like New York.
Amazon makes me it's still making me nervous.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody was telling me there's no bad time to buy Amazon.
no, you can buy it. There's never a wrong time to buy it. Probably a right time.
Well, buying it at
It's just
2,800.
it's just that the chart looks like it's reversing its gains all the way back to the COVID lows.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
That's how the chart looks. So it does make me a
Well,
little bit nervous.
just like
Uh,
under 3,000 was a bargain.
I guess
Under
we
2,000.
got to talk a little bit about Athesis. The results really were pretty good in the Helios trial. A couple of things. I knew the yearly data would look a lot better than the 3 month data, and it did. And the other thing is the craziness with the average age of the person getting a stroke in Japan, 78.
Yeah.
That was crazy compared to 63 in the Masters 2 trial, which is going on now. For those in this trial, in the Treasure trial, who were younger, they met the excellent outcome. So I think Masters 2, it bodes well. It bodes well.
Right.
Huge sell volume.
The problem with Athesis is how does it get to the end of the trial without going bankrupt?
Right. Well,
It
it's our
needs
usual
to,
problem with good news killing
it
killing
needs
a stock
money.
also.
First of all, what they should do is immediately stop the odds trial, which has cost them a fortune, because I don't expect great results there. And even if you get it, it's small potatoes compared to ischemic stroke, and they got it. Every dollar counts. They have to tighten their belt, maybe lay off people, save on salaries. I don't know what their payroll is altogether, but it,
Yeah,
it's time to hit an austerity budget for Athesis.
looks like they don't have much cash right now. Looks
They
very.
can't expect the shareholders to finance them forever.
I'm seeing here they have 3 cents per share cash on hand.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It basically broke.
Yeah,
So they have to do something and do something quick. I give them 1 week. In 1 week's time, if they don't get a European partner, then there'll be a reverse split, a dilution, and they'll be on the over-the-counter bulletin board.
yeah. I'm just riding the profit.
And then the price of the stock will go down to what would be about a nickel now.
Yeah, yeah.
Bank of America lowered their target to 25 cents for the sell. A little late,
Yep.
but
Yeah, a little piling on, I think.
yeah. So I mean, it's not over till the fat lady sings, but it's not. It's been a near fatal blow.
But
I think she's drinking.
clearing
She's
the
drinking some water. She's drinking
She's
some
clearing the
water.
throat.
She's ready to get on stage.
I think she's drinking some hemlock.
Either way, she's the opera's
Well,
like 3/4 done. She's coming. She's coming.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's a
So
rough one. I mean, I hope like what I was doing, and I hope you guys were doing. You were taking some profits up the last week or so, right?
on Athesis, no.
Well, I mean, you don't know.
In general, I didn't have many profits to take, but I did a little selling.
profits.
Yeah, profits were hard to find in my portfolio.
Yeah, I have a few, but yeah, I'm also just sitting on a bunch of stuff right now.
Yeah, what I have mostly is underwater. Tesla even is collapsed. I mean, it's everything. Everything is collapsed. It's a question of how bad did it collapse.
Yeah, the only one that looks like it still might have room to collapse is Apple.
And Apple is defying gravity with a nice update today. Led the market back today. I think
Yeah,
that's about
amazing day for Apple, and all these shipping stocks crushed today. It was
yeah.
wonderful.
And GSL went ex-dividend today.
Yeah, they went ex-dividend, so I'll get that dividend in a couple weeks, and then yeah, Zim was my big winner of the day.
You see, I almost pulled the trigger at 40 cents pre-market, but I was too emotionally involved. I couldn't do it. I knew that was the right thing to do. You sell the headline no matter what it is, but I didn't do it. But Mark was less emotionally attached than me. He was able to make the
Right.
correct play.
Yeah,
Very good, Mark. Jiggly says, forget the fat lady. She's already sung.
But
Probably.
really, he's right. Ethicist is not any worse a story than these other guys. Walmart has been a horrible story, and
Well,
so it's plenty of
Walmart is not nearly as horrible a story as some of the ones we don't own, like Roku and Shopify and
Netflix.
Netflix.
Netflix. Yes. So
So you think
it's just one big story amongst a bunch of.
Walmart is only down 25% from its peak. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all the like high beta ones that are just crap. Rivian's down a ton, Beyond Meat's down a ton. There's just a lot of garbage.
CTIC had a nice comeback from like the low threes to close to five now, I think.
Yeah,
Nice price action on CTIC.
yeah, that looks really good.
Snaid is with us from Utah. Good to see you. Tim says we live and learn. That's life. Yeah, it's not.
Yep.
You never. I'm never too. No matter how old I get, I'm never too old to quit learning about lessons. And the market has plenty of lessons to teach.
What have you learned from all of this, Dr. J?
I've learned not to marry a stock.
Not to
which
marry
I
a
did
stock?
with Optus. Every stock should be four symbols, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, I've learned that it's okay to just have cash and do nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And these are things you didn't know a year ago?
I did not know this a year ago. I learned this in like January.
But my problem is I know it, but then I forget it.
Okay.
And
That's perfect.
then I get a gentle reminder.
See, my problem is I know it, but I just ignore it and do what I want anyway.
Do it your emotions.
So I learned nothing from this.
Do what your emotions tell you to do.
I also learned.
Yeah, but I'm still going to do that next year. So I learned nothing from this.
Sometimes that works. Not
I've also learned that covered calls are the selling options is better than buying.
Well, actually, the smart play would have been just to protect my investment with some puts. Then I would the dollar puts, short term play.
Oh, back in the old days, right?
No, just now. That would have.
Oh, you mean in the money puts?
Yeah,
Interesting.
in the money puts when it was 80 cents, those puts were cheap.
Interesting.
The dollar puts.
I mean, I knew you were big on it in the money calls. I didn't know you were also into in the money puts.
Well, I did that. That's what I did with CVM, and I didn't lose a penny, even though I had quite a few shares. I protected it.
Makes one of us.
This one I went unprotected. Look, it was as bad as it was. It was nowhere as bad as what I lost with Geron, so I can't complain too much. And then again, I think there's enough good news out of this data that they may survive it all and still survive. I mean,
Yeah, but that's I'm saying about CVM.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible they could pull a rabbit out of the hat, get a partner, not have to dilute, and survive.
Mm-hmm.
They probably still will reverse split though, regardless, even if they get a partner.
Well, if they want to stay listed.
Yeah. All right. So let's let's take a look at the charts.
Good one, Jiggly.
Friday, I was in the Hamptons and I had no computer, and I just said I deserve a day off. It was a rough day. I didn't feel like getting on,
Right.
so that's why I didn't. The S&P had a huge day, up 1.86%, 72 points. The Dow up 2%. The Nasdaq up 1.6%. The Russell 1.1. Crude oil back up a little bit to 110.55. How do you like paying over $5 at the pump for gas?
I'm paying $6.20 out here.
He's in
620.
he's in Cali.
Gold and silver both up 0.5%. 10-year up 2.58% to 2.85, up 7 basis points. And what else? Bitcoin.
Bitcoin had a really bad day.
For a change, even though the S&P was soaring, Bitcoin decided to do its own thing, and what it likes to do lately, and that is go down. 29,277, down 2.43%. And that's enough of the averages. Let's take a look at the spiders on the chart. Has it turned the corner? Or will we see a 50% retrace fib on the fib? In which case we'd go down to 349 if that happens. I have it all here on the charts.
Yeah. I think from these levels and the levels we saw last week, I like the upside odds better than the downside. And I've been scaling into large caps and indices the last couple weeks.
I have also, but it doesn't mean that it can't defy our thinking and go all the way down to the 50% retrace.
Sure.
Yeah, which would be, like I said, 349 from the March lows of 218 to the recent highs at 480. That's how much? 262, and half of that would be 131. Add that on to the 218, and you get 349, I believe. So it's roughly 349, the midway mark. I should have it down here. 50% retrace right there.
Yeah. Anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that even though it went below the 38.2 level at 385, it did not close below that. This is the daily, so that was Friday's candle, right? It did take out the 38.2, but respected it on the close. So as long as that closing number remains above 38.2, the 38.2 retrace, I think we're okay. And if it does close below that, if it closes below, let's say 345, then I think there's not 45, 385. Then there's a good likelihood we're going down to 349. So with a close below 385, then look for 349. I also drew a line of support at 368, 367. So that's possible too. That line holds. Now, what about the averages? On the weekly, I think the 349 coincides with the 200. Take a look. All right, so here's the 200 day. It's at 348, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
200 week, yeah.
The 200 week rather is at 347.89, and that's just 1 point below the midway. The midway fib 50%, and by the time it hits the fib 50%, it'll probably be exactly even with the 200. So I think that unfortunately it kind of makes sense that if we get further weakness in the markets, we're heading for that 50% retrace. It's like a magnet pulling it. So
yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
you got to be on your toes here. With a close below 385, 349 looks pretty likely. That's how I see it. Of course, if it may not close below 349, in which case we're home free at least for a while. Maybe
Yeah.
not forever, but at least for a while.
Yeah.
The next one I wanted to look at probably was, we could look at Athesis, but there's really no point.
Right.
You know how long I've been in Apple? I'll tell you how long. Since
the time of Adam and Eve.
Since Roach Shugai trial in about, I think that began about 2015. So I've been in about 7 years. And then when that failed, the stock went from something like $3 to under $1, and bounced back nicely when they got the Helios partnership. So they always seem to manage to pull a rabbit out of the hat. Let's see if they can do it one more time. Anyway, Apple had a really good day, up 4% today. And it respected the 100, just like the S&P respected the fib 38.2%. So yesterday it was trading below the 100, finished just above. Today it never looked back and went about halfway up Friday's miserable candle. Now, hopefully that isn't just one day phenomenon and we continue to downtrend tomorrow. That's what's been happening lately. We get this one day huge pop in the Dow, the S&P, and then the very next day gives it all back. We would like not to see that tomorrow, but there's no way of really knowing until tomorrow, until 4 p.m. tomorrow. It's much easier after the close. That's why it's a great idea coming to you after the close.
Yep.
So Apple, beautiful day, but are we out of the woods? Hopefully, but if with a close below the 100, then it looks bad even for Apple. It looks like next level of support would be about probably this area, 116. So that's really low, but that's really the next level of support. If it breaks 100.
Yeah. That'll probably coincide with the S&P at that 50%. And I personally think that we're at an intermediate term low and we're going to be good from here, but play defense.
Well, it's not a question of defense. Watch very carefully. If we close below the 100, then you got to have a different perspective.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, cash defense. If you see,
Yeah. And what else did we want to look at? Amazon?
Well, you
I
got
don't
some
really.
requests for Mankind and CTIC since we talked about them.
Yeah, Mankind. Mankind, their partner would have the drug approved. Yeah, that's UTHR, United Health. And that bode well for the price of the stock, which had been rallying even before that in anticipation. Of course, like all these approvals, it gave back from 477, it closed at 417. So it's like any other biotech pop. You got to take the profits and run. And that's what it was today. If you caught it at 475, you did really well to sell. Right now, the way the market is and the way BioDrek is, it probably would have been wise if you sold. But who knows? Maybe it'll continue on up. It's got a lot going for it. What was the next one? CTIC. That I like a lot because it's going up
this is a great chart.
without news.
Yeah, I like this chart a lot.
Yeah, it's really very nice job. With yeah, I mean, it had this one bad day. That was back on Thursday.
You're on the weekly, yeah.
Oh yeah, the weekly. So 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago, it had a bad week. That was with earnings. So the earnings came in disappointing, and the stock got hammered along with the rest of the market. But now the realization of a potential buyout and so on for this one, causing it to get second looks and institutional money probably bolstering it up. So this one looks good. Northwest Bio is another one that doesn't want to give back anymore. It gave back a ton on the weekly on last week, 2 weeks ago, but it's stabilized since. So over the last 2 weeks, it's respecting the 200-day moving average. So as long as it stays above that, I think we're good. 200-day is what is it? 67 cents. So we're close. We're close below that would not bode well for the stock. But for now, it's holding support. Only time will tell on this one. I think there are catalysts near term. There's a journal article expected that could be a big boost near term. And down the road, approval by the FDA of their glioblastoma drug would be nice. I'm not sure whether the FDA will give approval or not, but that would be huge if that happens. It would be the first drug for GBM approved in a very long time. It has a shot. What else did I put down? I put down anybody.
NVIDIA?
I didn't put down NVIDIA, but I could certainly look at it. Tesla.
Tesla, right?
I haven't looked at Tesla in a while. That's why I put it down. I wanted to look at it myself. Now that I looked at it, I see why I haven't been looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not a buyer here until it's in the fives. I'm not bullish yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's strong support right at the 50, where this low, which coincided with the 50 back then. There's strong support there. Let's draw that. I don't know where it is, but it looks like very strong support. Right about there.
Yeah, looking at the valuation, like
547 is very strong support.
Yeah, I'm not interested in this for a while, probably.
Yeah, well, there is the converse is there isn't strong support until 547. So yeah, There's some support, but not strong support right in here for that line at, let's say, right where we are pretty much, 621. Well, where we were. We were, last week we were at, no, 680 was the low. Is that right? 633 was the low last week. So pretty much where we were last week, the bottom of last week's candle is near-term support. If that breaks, we're looking at 540. So if the market continues on down, this is looking good for $540 a share. And
Yeah.
of course, you have the supply chain issues with China, but that does look like it's beginning to ease. I think they said Shanghai is opening up, right?
Yeah, that's all. That's all not really an issue anymore. Yeah, that's the news of the day is now just monkeypox.
Monkeypox. That's why AEMD popped. Let's take a look at AEMD. It's a monkeypox play.
Is it really?
Yes. It's a monkeypox play.
Probably, I would look at the daily here. This one's hard to see.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about this stock in a long time.
Well, I hadn't either until it started going up.
No, look, that's really good.
Neither one of you still own this?
I own some.
No, I've been out of all bios basically for a long time
I
now.
own some. At this point, it's who knows where the mania will stop with this one. The more monkeypox makes the news, the more this one will fly. And I don't know why, because it's the same. It's the same hemo purifier that did nothing for COVID. So
Yeah, exactly. I'll probably be shorting this soon.
yeah, I don't get it. Why it's such a big play for monkeypox, and the BCRX makes more sense for monkeypox antivirals.
Like Galley or something.
Yeah, who knows?
Galley, you mentioned it.
Or Paramavir, who knows which one might have efficacy.
Yeah, this is another stock I don't want to own for a while. I need to see something.
I think they said for monkeypox, the antivirals that we have stockpiled for smallpox will work.
Okay.
We have that stockpiled, the government stockpiled it because of, biological warfare threat. So I think they said that would probably work for monkeypox. Repurposed drug. But BioCris is looking a little bit better too over the last week or 2 weeks. It bottomed pretty nicely at 761 and ran up today and yesterday to over 9. Today was 922. Gave back a little, but still closed at 890. It's headed in the right direction at least.
Generally, yeah.
Generally. And let's see what else I had. Shopify and Costco. Shopify. Jake mentioned Shopify.
Yeah, this one I've started to buy little bits and pieces of. I mean, it's off like 70% off the highs.
Yes, that's correct. And now, I don't know. We got this jump. Okay, we got this gap higher, and we're going nowhere the last 7 trading days. It doesn't look compelling. It looks like it may want to actually go down again.
It might. Yeah, it might be a bear flag type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look compelling at all, does it?
Yeah, but this one for me is like just buy a little at a time and sit on it. I don't know when the bottom is here, but it can't be too.
At least you want to close above the upper line at 402, and you don't want to close below the lower line at 342. As long as it trades in between, it's sort of neutral territory. So
a lot of these charts are just, well, they're gonna do whatever the S&P does for the most part. It's like, so you
yeah,
just wait and see.
yes, it did more or less what the S&P did, but only 1/4 as well today.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to pop off.
Costco is up nice today. Very nice move for Costco. What did you say, Professor Spike?
He had to leave.
Oh, you had to leave.
Yeah, it's a good candle. It broke the high from the previous day. You could feasibly see a bottom.
It looks like a double bottom potentially.
Double bottom.
Oh no, it's down here. Yeah, I was looking at this gap. I was misreading the chart, but it would be nice to fill that gap, actually, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think it will. Yeah.
At 480. Why not? 480 is just around the corner for this one. But 400 looks like pretty much the bottom. It bottomed at 406. I think that's enough to go down for Costco.
Yeah, I agree. It got just lumped in with all the other retail missing earnings.
Right now, you just want to close above this line at about 430.
Yeah.
Which we almost did. I want to take out at least the high from Thursday, the 430.53 high. Very close today.
I think we need a gap up tomorrow. Like
yeah, maybe gap up or at least close up here 445.
If the S&P can gap up above 400 tomorrow, I think that'll help everything a lot.
If you look way back, you see this 445 with support.
Yeah,
so this might be a little resistance.
Could be, yeah.
Right.
The halfway of that candle, yeah.
Yeah, halfway up the candle.
Yeah, but you might be able to get 445, which is a nice move.
And we'll end with GSL.
Yeah, GSL. I'm also in Zim. Both had a really pretty good day. I mean, I think this one still I'm not super excited short term yet. I really want to see the 2350 taken out or 2344.
It's a very nice candle today.
Yeah, and it's usually you don't see candles like this on an ex-div day. Usually it's a little weak.
On an ex-div day to be up 4%? Are you kidding?
It's quite good, yeah. And the fundamentals here I've studied through and through. It's a really, really profitable and growing company that I'm confident holding this long, and I think generally shipping I think is going to do really well the next 3 to 6 months.
Or maybe the next 3 to 6 years.
Yeah, it's true. It might go longer. The container ship rates are just at a really, really high point, and there's the ILW.
Have a lot of pricing power, inflation proof.
Yeah.
I would say, wouldn't you say this is inflation proof?
Yeah, because they lock in their rates for years on end, and they just signed another boat on a lease that starts July 2023 at a really favorable rate. So yeah, they have a lot of coverage, and I like this stock because their revenues are very predictable.
It's a good steady dividend payer.
Yeah, you get 38 cents every quarter. That's pretty damn good in this environment.
Definitely.
So yeah, I like this. I'm just reinvesting the dividend right back in.
Okay, so this has been Dr. J, Arjun, and Spike coming to you live from coast to coast and across the globe. Are we coast to coast and across the globe? Well, I know we're coast to coast.
Yeah, coast to coast.
I don't know about the across the globe, but
maybe some viewers are across the globe.
Yeah, Patrick wants to know about AUPH. I'm neutral on that one right now. Indubitably is upside, doesn't know what to do about ATHX. I'm for now holding and suffering and pain. But I said I would turn the next page and take it like a man, and I am, because I knew it was a 50-50 proposition. That means you win half of them. And you ultimately, unfortunately, you lose half of them.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for today. Have a great day. Hope you have a good trading day tomorrow as well as today. Hasta la vista. See you all tomorrow. Bye. Ciao.